I want to talk a little bit about the Lux LTEs and why we did an LTE. We've been spending a significant amount, well over a year and a half, designing, implementing, coming up with iterations of the LTE. And the whole concept, the Lux line, the whole concept behind the Lux line is we wanted a premium glove. And as you guys have seen throughout the years, or some of you are new to this, but we started out with our traditional starter glove, then we came out with the Tough series, then the 3.0, 4.0, and each time we got a little bit better, improved on different things. The Heritage gloves were really popular, the Murdered Outs were really popular, but they're all basically built off of the same structure, the same foam, the same leathers, and they look different. That's about it. The Heritage glove and the Tough 4s, the glove is exactly the same. It's just a nicer looking one with a dyed leather and maybe variations in leather, but the foam and the actual mold is exactly the same. Where the Lux line, it's different. We've improved on it. It's unique in the marketplace. We've added some things that are not in any other glove on the market, and we're pretty proud of it. But we realized that when we came out with the first one that we spent a lot of time on making changes to, it was good, but not great. And then there was some small manufacturing issues that we have gotten ahead of and warranted. But we did notice a couple things and feedback as we got this out to the crowd, that the width of the glove was just a little too wide and the length of a glove was a little too long. And so in efforts to come up with the ultimate glove, we wanted to make sure that we updated some of those things. So I'm going to go over some of the highlights, and we're going to actually cut open a pair of gloves on camera so that you can see what's inside of these and why they're so much nicer than anything that you've seen. So first off, just looking through these, you can see that this is a suede type material meant to wipe the sweat off. So when you're talking to your members and coaches, you can see all the different materials that are used to make up this glove. Now, this is a premium cowhide leather. It's multi-grain. You can smell that new car glove smell like you would with a really high-end baseball glove or a luxury vehicle. It's the same type of leather. It's much harder to work with. So even if you see some of these wrinkles, whatever you want to call it, it's because the way that you have to stretch the leather is quite different than a PU leather that you see in a lot of gloves. Most gloves on the market are not real leather. Even some of those gloves like Cleo Reyes, a lot of those use a buffalo leather. It's real leather, but it's not multi-grain top leather. We also use a porting here for ventilation, and you can see the industrial stitching. We do a double stitch rather than a single stitch. We found that the durability, they last longer. The breakdown and wear out isn't quite the same. There's a double stitch on the palm as well. And then here, this is one of the things that separates us from these other gloves, is we added this elastic stretch so that when you're putting the glove on, and it's, again, a little bit shorter, a little bit more narrow, now you've added the stretch component, so you're tightening and you get that wrist support, but you're not locking your wrist in place because you still need a little bit of movement. It allows you to open your gloves, so when you're in your guard, you can open and you can still see through your gloves, which is very important. It also helps for when you're just hitting the bag, doing bag workout, that the type of foam that we use on the inside does not break down easily. You also are not getting the bruised knuckles like you would with a lot of other gloves because we spent the extra money putting in higher quality foam and multiple layers in here that we'll show you on the inside. We also use an antibacterial fabric to cover the foam. It's more comfortable, but you can feel the difference in these gloves and why each iteration that we come out with is an improvement on the last one. We finally feel like we have a glove that we can stand behind, that it is our high-end glove. We also did some soul searching to make sure that we're pricing ourselves competitively. We looked through a lot of competitors to see where they're at, and this is really in line with some of the highest quality gloves like Hayabusa, Cleo Reyes, Rival. We feel we're right in line with them. So the retail price on these, instead of it being $249, it's going to be $199. So I think that's going to be a very exciting price point for your members. It's an investment, and people are going to feel like they've bought a high quality glove. Robbie, you want to get your thoughts on this?
Sure. Yeah. So it's been really cool, and I think it's worth talking about seeing just the evolution of the Lux gloves. So like for the past year and a half, it's been really awesome to see and get, members trying out some of these samples that we're wearing and asking for feedback, and kind of starting with a, boxing first, experience with the gloves, where it's, we're taking the things that we think go into a really good glove, and then we're combining that vision with what we're seeing and what we're getting from members, their feedback, and we got to see that through sparring. I remember about a year ago now, having a lot of my members try out these different iterations of gloves, and every pair was just a little bit different. And I think that, these gloves, the LTEs, are really the top of the line. And it even goes to show this versus the last pair of Lux gloves that we've had, just some of the little, just attention to detail things that really stand out to me as a coach, but also really kind of stand out to our members and really kind of show the degree of care that we put into designing these, right? Like even just the print, Lux Performance is larger. The Velcro is a different material than it was on the last pair, right? I think that the elastic in here is ingenious. It's a great way to get that, get the lace type feel and security without all the hassle. I think that the smaller profile is something that was directly from members. We heard that feedback, and we were like, we want to create the best glove that we can. Even the amount of, just the thickness of the foam over the wrist is there's a little bit less foam there, which makes it a little bit easier to kind of prop your guard open, and things like that. So these gloves are absolutely fantastic, and yeah.
Yeah, and we want to put our money where our mouth is. Again, we spend thousands of dollars in development, design, sampling, attention to detail. When we get samples in, it's a few $100s just to ship the gloves. And we've had so many variants to this until we get a production run going. So there's not a lot that we're asking other than to give these a try, get excited about them, really understand the difference in the gloves. And the best way to market this inside of your gym is you have your starter package, which is the package A, and then you've got your mid-grade package, which you can go between all types of variations of the Tough series, and then your high-end package, which is your Lux series. So we are priced to accommodate every type of member, and it's important to have a high-end glove so that members have something to shoot for. Now, if the gyms don't get behind this and don't get excited about this, the members aren't either. When I first started boxing, anything my coach told me to get, I went and got. So if the coaches get behind this, then they're going to be excited and the members will be excited, and you'll see your volume increase significantly. And there's a significant amount of margin in these for you so that you can make extra money and add to your bottom line. So in an effort to really put our money where our mouth is and to help gyms get behind this, we're sending every gym a free pair of Lux gloves so that you can have your head coach use them. You as a franchise owner can use them. I think you'll find and see that what we're doing here is pretty unique and special. So we're going to pause for a second, and then we're going to cut these open so that you guys can see what's on the inside. So when you're showing members, we'll have some of this content. In addition to some of the marketing material and the pictures that we're sending and showing, you'll now have firsthand knowledge of exactly what's inside of this. Okay, Robbie, I don't trust myself, so if you want to just kind of cut straight through the middle, that'll show what the foam is. So as you can see, there's multiple layers here. This is a latex foam. This is super dense. And the reason we went with this type of foam is the break in and break down. So almost like a memory foam. This is, it's hard to show on camera, but this is thick. This is solid. I mean, Robbie took him a while to even cut this open. Look at the inside where the leather on both sides, where they dye this side as a matte color, but this is genuine leather through and through. We're on a PU leather, which is most gloves. If you were to cut open most of our competitors, the other side will look almost cardboardy on the back side where they manufacture that leather. But you can, we're ripping this apart, which is not easy. You can see all these different layers, and we'll try to get a real close look at that. But there is a layer here, here, and here. So there's 3 different layers of foam that are all very dense and multiple types of material. So when you're looking at the aesthetics, obviously we spend a lot of time making them look good and aesthetically pleasing, the multiple colors, using this rubber stamp rather than just a silk screen. So outside looks nice. Just little things like here, these little details that you might not think of that help keep the glove intact. But now when you really open this sucker up, that is a thing of beauty. We have never had a glove that is this nice on the inside and the outside. The elastic, like there's function, feature, quality unmatched. And now with our new $199 retail price point, this still gives you guys a significant amount of margin. We're competitive with every other glove on the market, but I challenge people to open up their glove and take a look at what's really on the inside of this thing. And I think you'll be impressed with how nice these fit, feel, and use. So we'll be talking soon, but I can't wait to see these in your pro shop.